And the Audi, yeah. Top three for me was those. I ain't gonna front. That was my top three if I had to pick. I'm gonna watch one more vid. That Elade. No, this ain't that. Matter of fact, it's in 25.
Damn.
What that's that right here? No wait, what's this one? Yeah.
What's going on YouTube?
That shit set up
Cadillac
high as hell.
is one of the world's.
So for those that don't know, this is my favorite car right here. It ain't even come out yet, but this is my favorite car right here, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like there is not one car on this planet that gives a better luxury experience than the Escalade, bro. You're not gonna get a better car than the Escalade, bro. Just cruising in
Most
it.
famous luxury SUVs.
And then they giving us an electric version of the shit, bro. The shit already, mind you, the shit already wasn't bad on gas. It wasn't bad on gas as a seven-seater. You're now making this shit electric, bro. A seven-seater.
OD.
Come on, bro. Watch this shit, bro.
Now it is time for it to be electrified. This is the all-new Cadillac Escalade IQ. With up to 750 horsepower and 450 miles of estimated range, this might be the ultimate electric vehicle. So let's go ahead.
Look how big the car is versus this nigga, bro.
That's what I was saying. That's a big ass car.
That nigga look little as hell compared to that car, bro.
So of course, let's start off by taking a look at the exterior design. Now, obviously, as an electric Escalade, you're going to have both a mixture of those traditional Escalade design cues, but also some unique elements. The most unique place, I think, is right up here in the front. You're going to see that we have that kind of signature lyric look to this front end. Obviously, since it is an electric vehicle, you don't have such a large grille, but you do have, especially here with this model, this is the sport trim level, a very aggressive look because they have blacked this all out and basically replaced the grille with a lot of lighting elements. So what's really cool about this is when you walk up to the Escalade IQ, a animation is going to
yeah, I was about to bring that up. That shit is hard, my nigga.
It looks really cool when you see it.
Yeah, like so like when you walk up to the 2020, all of them really right now. Like if you got the key on you and you walk up to the car, bro, the lights do it like it just did in the video right here. Like with that lighting shit, like this part right here. They all do that. That shit is fire. Like just let you know that you're near the car type shit. Hell yeah.
And speaking of the headlights, again we have that kind of traditional Escalade look. So you have the stacked design like a lot of Cadillac models, but we have a lot of visuals here.
I'm hyped. I'm fiending. I ain't gonna lie. I'm fiending. I'm fiending. I need this. I need this. Yes, sir.
And overall,
yes, sir. I need this.
Really, really cool. Now you're probably noticing that this has really large wheels, and indeed they are. We have 24-inch alloy wheels. Like I mentioned in the front, this is the sport trim level. Of course, the luxury model would have a different look, but here with the sport, really blacked out looking finish. I really like the way this looks.
I'm thinking about this one all black.
Out through the outside, and the tires are
all black stars in the ceiling. Come on. What the?
You'll see a lot of really big numbers when it comes to this Escalade IQ. Now, as we back up here a little bit, you've got a black accent down the side. You'll also notice the contrasting black mirrors, which Mason will talk about the black option for the roof as well.
Now here at the side of the Escalade IQ, you are going to notice it's a little bit less squared off than the traditional version of the Escalade, but I think it has a really cool design to it, especially seeing it here.
He looks little as
hell. Is not a small vehicle by any means.
You're
probably curious as to how big this Escalade IQ is, and Cadillac told us that it's a little bit in between the standard wheelbase version and the ESV in terms of the overall length. And this is going to be the only way that you can get the Escalade IQ. There's not going to be an IQ L or extended wheelbase version, so do keep that in mind. Now, as far as the roof,
Good,
I do
'cause
want
I
to
want
point
the
out
best
that we
one
have
when
a
it
two-tone
drop.
roof option, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. I've actually seen people that have traditional gas Escalades do this aftermarket, so I really like that Cadillac is giving us this option.
This shit got the
from
V
the
series
factory.
beat by a
And
million.
then rolling our
if
way
you know, if you're
around to
smart.
the back, you're going to notice a very unique look with this Escalade IQ. So it's very distinct from the traditional Escalade because it looks like a Escalade mixed with a Lyric back here is what I would describe it as. Now we have a blacked out spoiler up top. We have a really cool center brake light design. And then as far as the brake lights themselves, they are going to be separated in two pieces. So you have this
Bro,
upper
look at
piece
the
as well as the
lights,
lower
bro.
piece. This kind of gives me very similar Escalade vibes to what's currently on sale. You're also going to notice for this
Facts.
Escalade IQ, it says 1000 E4. So Cadillac actually does the torque figure in Newton meters, and this is the closest number to that, which is kind of insinuating just how powerful this vehicle is, which we'll talk about in just a second in the powertrain section. Now down here at the bottom, all of this is going to be finished in a nice piano black color. Of course, no exposed exhaust outlets because this is an electric vehicle after all, and Cadillac has not released official tow figures yet.
If you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
And 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
and we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
Now it's
Imagine if manufacturing
Come on,
automation
man.
was simple. Introducing Vention.
I gotta get on another count.
cool as the exterior is, it's really the interior that's going to blow your mind. So let's go ahead and get inside here. First off, I do want to talk about something that's pretty cool about this Escalade IQ. It actually has power doors, and the driver door can be set up to automatically open up as you approach, and it will open up, as wide as objects around the vehicle will allow for. I'm just going to open it up the traditional way right now. So just pinch it, just like the current Escalade, with the sensor behind the door handle, and we'll take a look.
Oh, they letting him
inside
get in? The other
this
video I seen, they ain't let them
beautiful
get in.
car. Now, obviously, the big thing that you're going to see
Right,
right
worth
off
more.
the bat is just displays everywhere. This is a very high-tech vehicle, and it also has a ton of luxury as
Bro.
well. Let's start off by talking
I
a little
need
bit
this, bro.
about our seats. So one of the interesting things about the Escalade IQ
I need
is the
this,
fact
bro.
that this is not a real leather interior. Actually, real leather is not going to be available on the Escalade IQ. That being said, it's still a beautiful leather, has a nice feel to it as well. And of course, there's going to be all different types of color options, just like with the traditional Escalade that you can choose between. Now, this is a very early prototype, so we're not going to be physically getting inside the vehicle itself.
Okay.
But as you can see, we got a
Damn,
really
that
nice
shit
look at
heat.
all the different luxury features and things to show off inside of this cabin. First off, I really want to actually talk about the luxury itself. So as you can see, you have just the beautiful leather interior that's going to go from head to toe, where of course it's not actually real leather as I mentioned earlier, but you're going to have those luxurious materials everywhere. You'll also notice the huge speaker grills. That's one of the things I want to mention right from the start here, because you can see that very vividly over here with the door trim. This is a 40 speaker AKG audio system. Let that sink in. 40 speakers, absolutely amazing. There's going to be speakers in the headrest.
That shit gonna sound so
the
crazy,
traditional
bro.
Escalade model. And while we're looking at the door trim, let's also talk a little bit about ambient lighting. So we have a
That
wide
shit gonna be
assortment of
crazy.
ambient lights, of course, but one of the interesting things about the Escalade IQ is they've taken this real piece of wood and actually etched in this design
that?
and
The
then
heat?
lit it behind there, so you have that really cool look. Everything's going to be fully customizable on that as well. Heated and ventilated seats, of course, and massaging.
Yeah, ventilated.
Now, let's talk
Gotta have
about
it
these
ventilated.
screens. We can't get around those any longer because they are absolutely massive. This is the 55-inch panel. I believe this is from the Celestique model. And as you can see, it just fully covers the entire front of the cabin from left to right side. The passenger display is really interesting because over there on that side, you can play movies and things like that to entertain the passenger. But once you put the vehicle into drive, it will actually make it to where the driver can't see that. So it won't be distracting to the driver, and the passenger will still be able to enjoy it and engage with it. All of these displays, by the way, are touch screens, including the lower display, which
I
is
got
about
this shit
11
being
inches, and it's
self-drive.
going to be used primarily for controlling climate controls and things like that. Now, of course, you do have an electronic shifter on board, just like other recent Cadillacs. The steering wheel itself looks very similar to the latest Lyric. So it has that unique two-spoke design. Of course, it's going to be heated and power adjusting as well. One of the really cool things as well is this design down here. So you have the floating console. This is something that, being an electric vehicle, has an advantage over that gas-powered Escalade because you don't have all these stuff running underneath of here as the tunnel. So you have space to put in a floating console. You can put a full-size person here, and it's going to fit no problem whatsoever. Now, one other thing I want to mention about the interior is, of course, this very large piece of glass you see up there at the top. This is going to be a fixed panoramic sunroof, so this does not open up. It also doesn't have a sunshade, but it is tinted, and Cadillac says there is an accessory that people can buy as well if they do want a sunshade, to add that later on. But I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Mason and let him talk about some of the really
because
cool
I would
things
want a
you're gonna find in the
sunshade. I want
back seat,
something,
as
you know.
well as the cargo capacity.
Now, some of the biggest news about this Escalade IQ is here in the rear seats, because we know celebrities get transferred in Escalades all the time, and it never had an executive rear seat. They are changing that with this Escalade IQ. So come back here and look at this. This is a stunning rear seat, guys. Like I said, this is an available executive rear seat. So you're going to have two seats in the back, so yes, that does get rid of the bench seat, but I think most Escalades had captain's chairs anyhow, and these seats are going to be absolutely stunning and have a lot of features included with them. So you have a beautiful leather design going through here. These rear seats are going to be heated, ventilated, as well as massaging. They're also going to be power adjusting, so you have all of those functionalities here in the rear. It's basically like the front seat being sent to the back seat. You have all of the fancy elements that you expect out of an electric vehicle here in the rear seats.
This is crazy.
Now here in the center, you will notice instead of captain's chairs, we have an entire center console. I assume we have quite a bit of storage inside of here. Additionally, we're going to have a screen, and that's going to be able to adjust all of your different settings back here. I assume it's also to turn on the massaging and all that. I cannot get in the Escalade IQ just yet, but stay tuned for a full video coming later to the channel. Additionally, dropping down below that, you're going to see that we have plenty of storage. So if you need to store stacks of cash, if you're a celebrity, you'll be able to do that in the back seat. Additionally, we do have power outlets as well as cup holders. Now, speaking of those outlets, we do also have a rear seat entertainment system. As you can see, it's mounted to the rear of each seat back. This looks to be about the same as what we have on the current Escalade, which is certainly a good setup. We've tested that out back at home, and it's a very, very nice thing. Now, as far as the rear specs, we don't have official legroom figures just yet on this Escalade IQ. Of course, this is a very early first look at this model. I do want to mention that we have a third row available or standard as well on this Escalade IQ. I can't quite show you just yet because this is a very early first look video, but we do have that third row, and I expect it to have very similar space to the current Escalade, which is absolutely phenomenal. And one other thing that I want to mention about the second row of seats is that you have dual wireless phone chargers, and that's not just for the second row, that's also for the front as well. So 4 wireless phone charging pads in this Escalade IQ. Now, you're probably curious about the cargo capacity and what you're going to get with this model. Now, Cadillac has not came up with official numbers yet for this. However, I've been told by Cadillac engineers that this has about the same space as the current Escalade model, including the frunk, which we're going to look at in just a second, because yes, this Cadillac Escalade IQ does have a frunk. As far as in this rear cargo area, it's going to be a little bit less than the current Escalade because we have a little bit more of a sloping roof design than the boxy Escalade model, but still a ton of space. We do have power folding third row as standard equipment as well, and then you have a little bit of underfloor storage down here as well. But let's go ahead and check out that front. So Cadillac is calling this the E-Trunk, and this is going to be a really cool thing about the Escalade IQ. It might be one of my favorite elements. Now, as you can see, this is a really long E-Trunk up here in the front. As far as the official cubic feet capacity, it's going to be over 12 cubic feet, so you're going to definitely be able to fit quite a bit of stuff in here. Personally, when we had our Tesla, we put fast food up here so it didn't stink up the cabin. You'll be able to do that in the Escalade. Additionally, they were quick to point out that you can fit 2 sets of golf clubs in here, which will also be a useful feature for many owners. Additionally, we have a household outlet over here on the left side. So certainly, I'm very happy to see this E-Trunk on the Escalade IQ.
With
I
Fiverr,
want
you
it.
can hire top-rated freelance
I want it,
experts
bro.
with a variety of AI services.
I ain't
Let's
gonna
talk
lie.
a bit about the overall powertrain. So a 24 module Ultium battery pack really makes the foundation.
This is
of this
it. Like, I ain't
Escalade
gonna front. You not getting a better
and
car
that is
than
actually going to
this.
be delivering greater than 200 kilowatt hour battery capacity. So it's going to be a very large battery pack. Now, because you have a large battery pack, you would want it to charge up quickly, and I'm happy to report it can charge up quite quickly. You can add up to 100 miles of electric range in just 10 minutes. So that is a very, very fast charge.
Yeah, that
Now,
is fast.
like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of big numbers when it comes to this Escalade. Here's some of the biggest numbers. Up to 750 horsepower and 700
Nah, the trunk in the front of that shit was
of torque. That's going to get this
The one
very
85.
large SUV up to 60 miles per hour in
750
under
horsepower.
5
That shit
seconds.
move.
So, like I said, this is, even though very large, it is going to also be very fast because it has big horsepower and torque numbers.
And lastly here, I do want to mention a feature that we haven't mentioned up until this point, and that's these things right here. We actually have four-wheel steering on this Escalade IQ. That's going to be standard equipment. And what that really helps with is the maneuverability of this vehicle. This is a very big vehicle, yet it's not going to drive like it. The engineers were quick to point out that it actually shaved off 6 foot off the turning diameter by having the four-wheel steering system. We additionally have Cadillac Arrival Mode, which will essentially be like a GMC crab walk feature that we've seen on the Hummer EV that allows you to actually go diagonal. Super cool feature.
Yo,
And it's going to be something that a lot of
what,
people
bro?
who have an Escalade IQ definitely want to show off to their friends and family. And the last thing I want to mention
What,
is the
bro?
price and availability. Now, you've seen all the luxury and all the really cool features that this Escalade IQ has to offer, so of course you're not going to expect it to be cheap. No Escalade has ever been cheap. We're starting at about $130,000, including destination, for this new Escalade IQ. And if you're looking to get one of these, Cadillac says it should be available around summer of next year, so you're not going to have to wait too much longer. But guys, that's going to wrap up our first impressions of this all-new 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ. This, of course, is a beautiful vehicle, and we're very thankful that we're able to come out here in person in this Detroit studio to check out this Escalade IQ. So thank you so much to Cadillac for inviting us out so we can show you guys some of their latest products. If you're new to the channel, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help get us invited to events like this. And if you're already a part of our Car Confections family, we thank you for your continued support.
I'm gonna join
Also,
this
check
Car
out our
Confection
TikTok and
family.
Instagram pages,
You
and we'll
can't
catch
get
you
enough
next
of stuff
time
like
as we
this,
sample
bro.
more of the latest automotive
Can't get enough of
delicacies.
stuff like this, bro. Wow.